Hi, this is Kim, and this is my day 3 in my 21-day relaxation challenge of trying out different relaxation meditation techniques just to see, what works and what is in fact supportive to really assist and support with relaxing, which has always been a challenge for me throughout my life. So I'm just, testing things out. And today I was testing out the Devavani meditation technique by Osho. And it was again like a guided meditation technique where you have like a music track with different stages of 15 minutes, of each 15 minutes, where you have to do like different exercises, and then you get like music that guides you through every stage. And so for this one, the first stage was where you just kind of sit in silence and just listen to the music, and then the second stage was baby talk, where you actually have to like just say anything, any sounds that come up, and you kind of have to allow any sounds to just come up freely, or like speaking in tongues in a way. And then the third stage is where you also like you get up and move your body around, just freely while you're doing the baby talk. And the last stage is where you just lay flat and lay in silence for 15 minutes. And so this one is again a little weird because Osho sure has some crazy techniques. But I mean, I see where he's coming from. With every technique, it's like he's just trying to get people to express certain things that would allow your body, would allow you to, in a way, get in touch with what's really there on the level of your body. Like with this one, he's trying to get you to, in a way, go back to when you were a baby, when you didn't have any structure yet. You didn't yet have like that mindset of, oh, I need to speak in this way and I need to say things in this way and that way, like where your mind isn't yet developed, but your sounds are just their baby talk. It's like gaga goo goo, you don't know what you're saying. You're just kind of making sounds. It's expression. And the one that I did yesterday as well, it's all about expression, like just expressing your body, kind of shutting down your mind that's trying to tell you how to express yourself, how you should be, who you should be. And so obviously for someone like me who's always had a habit of suppressing myself with anxiety, um, these meditation techniques do, like, they are quite challenging for me, just because like there's like fears that come up because of that, like uninhibited expression that is within these techniques. But that's why this is a challenge, so I'm taking on the challenges as they come. So with this one as well, like in day 2, the previous one that I did, in both of them I found that just the technique on its own wasn't necessarily enough, that I needed other sort of tools in order for it to be meaningful to me, in order for it to really support me, in fact. And because if I didn't have those specific tools, I know that it wouldn't actually be supportive for me. Not really. It would have that effect of maybe for like a moment giving me that inner sense of peace and calm, but then that would just disappear in a matter of time, and then I'd be right back to square one. So my extra tool that I applied for this one actually was where in the first stage of sitting in silence, um, what I did was that I used that time to um, to look at my living word. And my living word is one of the tools that I've learned walking the Destiny Eye process. Um, is to basically live a word. Like for me, my word is safe haven because I'm such an anxious person, and it's something that I've always lacked within myself, like that to experience a sense of safety. So safe haven for me means to have a space where I can relax, where I don't have to exist in fear, where I don't have to exist in judgment. It just discharges all of those points in my mind wherein I'm hard on myself, wherein I'm judging myself, wherein I'm breaking myself down, beating up on myself, going into fears, going into anxieties, nervousness, stress, etc., etc. So how I use this word safe haven is that I really, like for instance, with this 15 minutes of sort of sitting in silence, I used it to kind of meditate on my word in terms of bringing my word here for me and looking at how to live this word. How can I be this word? And also looking at what are all the points inside of me that I'm holding on to right now, wherein I'm not living a safe haven. All my points of stress, fear, anxiety, judgment, etc. And then solidifying my decision to live the word safe haven, to be a safe haven for myself, like eradicate all the fear inside myself, essentially. And in the second phase, where with the baby talk, um, what I found is that, obviously, again, with like it being a very different sort of expression, what also came up was judgment. What also came up was a lot of judgments in my mind of, oh, this is weird, and what am I doing? And, just a lot of fears as well, because obviously that's always been my fear throughout my life, is to express myself. So any time that I try to express myself in any way that's different, there's always massive fears that come up inside of me as like a reminder of why it is that I generally suppress myself, because there's just a lot of fears around expressing myself. So there was like points of fear that came up. So I had to use my word, safe haven, to basically continuously remind myself of like, okay, it's okay. I can express myself. I'm a safe haven. Okay, there's nothing to fear, no need to worry. Everything is quiet, silent, still. It's okay for me to allow myself to, in this moment, explore this meditation technique and to just allow myself to express myself unconditionally right now. And any points of judgment or anxiety or fears that came up inside my mind, I directed through living the word safe haven. Where then with the third stage as well, the same thing, with moving around. Sometimes I had thoughts come up in my mind of, oh, maybe this is not how I'm supposed to do it, or there was like points of pressure or insecurity coming up with what I was doing. So I had to continuously apply my living word, safe haven, and get myself out of those points of pressure and stress so that I could just unconditionally apply this exercise. And it was only through doing it this way that I could, in fact, enjoy the exercise, and that, it did establish that sense of kind of silence and inner peace afterwards, which was really nice. But if I hadn't had that extra tool of living that word to basically direct any reactions, any points in my mind that come up during the technique, then it would have been completely different for me, and it wouldn't have been quite as supportive for me. So again, it's a really cool technique that does support, but again, you do need extra tools. Like you do need sort of an extra context of supporting yourself with, for example, the Destiny Eye process, where you do learn to work with your own mind. And if you have that context, then things like this are supportive because they do, for instance, this one, it did support me with getting in touch with um, that deeper level of myself that sort of gets buried under me as an adult. You know, like it did support me with almost getting in touch with my inner baby, like who I was as a baby, um, which was pretty interesting. And so from that perspective, these kind of techniques and, you know, meditation techniques do support and are really cool. So that was my experience. You know, again, feel free to try it out for yourself and let me know what your experience is. And let's just walk this together, journey of relaxation. Okay, thanks for listening and watching, and until the next one.